Let's see. Good morning on this snowy Monday. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Ugh. Good morning. Just waiting a few moments for some people to join us this morning. Good morning, Danville. Good morning. Good morning, Carrie. I'm doing my scope from a different location. I'm not at home, so trying this out. Good morning. So for those who are joining for the first time, my name is Marquisa Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Elevate Leadership Enterprises. My passion is to help develop leaders, help teams to build and to grow together. I am what you considered, or as they call me, the leadership guru. So I am happy and excited to be able to join you this morning for our Monday morning leadership lift. And I want to talk to everyone this morning about connections. But before I get into the topic, I do want to just point you to a few things. My website, which is marquisawilliams.com, you can go there and you can actually find more information about me. You can also subscribe to my newsletter and also my free ebook. My free ebook is 5 things anyone leading anything should know. It is totally free. Sign up for it if you go to my website at marquisawilliams.com. But I wanted to let you know there, and please share my scopes with your followers. You can also go to YouTube and catch up on any of the previous leadership lifts as well. I have a channel there which is my name, Marquisa Williams, Marquissa. So it is snowy, icy, cold here in the East Coast. Here in Philadelphia, we just had about 23 inches of snow all in one day. So as you can imagine, it's a mess. But we're here. It's supposed to warm up in the next few days, so I'm excited about it warming up to 40 degrees, so some of the snow can melt for us. So with that, I want to jump into our morning leadership lift this morning, which is connections, life or death. Connections. When you think about connecting, it's so important that we connect to the right sources. There was a woman at my previous church who used to always say, you need to consider the source. When we connect to certain people, we connect to certain organizations, and sometimes, there's rumors everywhere, and, we have to say, consider who's saying what. Consider who you are connected with. Consider the connection. So as I look at the definition of connection, it says to join together so as to provide access. So who's accessing you? Who are you giving access to you and all of who you are? It's very important as leaders, as people in general, who we are connected with. It could be people who we are connected with who are literally just sucking the life out of us. They're just draining us dry. They're just taking. But then there are other people that we are connected to that are just that feed right into us, and they're helping to nurture us and build us up and encourage us along the way. So yes, our connections is so vital for our survival. Life or death. There are sometimes we stay, and when we think about connections, sometimes we stay connected to people, circumstances, organizations way too long, and we begin to die. So there's this fine balance of being connected to healthy and staying connected too long, because sometimes we have to disconnect in order to help other people, and I'll get into that. But it's very important that we know who we are connected to, and I'll give you some pointers on how to identify where you are as far as your connections are concerned. just recently I hosted at my church a leadership conference, and the speaker, Dr. Gail Randolph Williams, she shared this awesome story about this aloe plant that she has. And the aloe plant, she was about to repot it and do some things with it, and she said she left it on her washing machine, actually. Forgot all about it for whatever reason, and she came back to this aloe plant. It was days had gone by. And she comes downstairs and remembers, oh my gosh, I left this aloe plant here, not rooted, not connected to anything. And when she looked at it from on the outside, she said it was still green, still looked good. But what, lo and behold, when she opened it, it was dying on the inside. It was literally dying on the inside. It looked green on the outside, dying on the inside. So sometimes we put on this front of looking healthy. So we have to be careful when we're not disconnected. When we're not disconnected, we run the risk of having this appearance of looking healthy, but yet we're dying on the inside. So I wanted to share that analogy. We have to be careful not to get dry rot in a sense. Not putting up a front, but knowing that we are connected to something healthy. So again, we have to be healthy on be connected to a source, a healthy source. So get connected to healthy sources, people that will help nurture you in authentication, who seek nothing but the best for you. A lot of times we can be connected to people and they appear to be helping us, but in actuality, they want something from us. So we have to be careful about that too. We have to be discerning about who we are related to, who we are lining up with, because sometimes people have an ulterior motive. And as I said, I will get to some points on to help you identify who those people are and who you need to disengage with and who you need to stay connected to. So be very, very careful of that. Thank you for sharing with your followers this important message on connecting. Please show some hearts. Show me that you hear me, and also please share with your followers as well. I think that this message is very critical for those of us who are striving to be better, striving to move up the corporate ladder, striving to just be better as people, because in actuality, connections are important in all areas of our lives. Guess what? Sometimes our family members that we are connected to, we can't choose our family members, but guess what? We're connected to them, but are they sucking us dry? Are they sucking us dry? We have to know what's healthy and what's not healthy for us as we are connected. Good morning, my sister Christine. Good morning. So we're talking about being healthy connections, and how to identify when we do need to disconnect as well. It's very important, and I'll share some facts on why it's important to disconnect also. All right. So we want to be connected to people who are authentic, who want the best for us, seeking nothing but the best for us. And the same, vice versa. We want to help others as well in authentication, not based on what we can get from them. So keep that in mind. So here's a catch. Here's the thing. Eventually, you will have to fall away to become fruitful. Even those healthy relationships. How many of you know that there's a such thing as becoming overripe? I think about a tree and fruit. Let's take the apple and the orange as an example. They need the tree, they need the branches, they need the soil, they need the rain, they need all these things that they need for their growth. But eventually they have to fall off to nurture something else. Those are vitamins. We eat an apple for vitamins, we eat oranges for vitamin C. But what's holding them together is, although they're disconnected, they're still feeding into other areas of people's lives. And what's holding them together is that seed, what they were connected to in the first place. It keeps them vibrant, it keeps them growing, it keeps them all together. But how about do you know that if you stay too long, if that orange or that apple, or if we stay too long connected to that tree, or that person or that thing or that organization too long, we become overripe. How about that? Overripe. I can't stand an overripe banana or an overripe apple. How about overripe people? The taste just gets funny. It gets too weird. The experience becomes too weird. It's not the same experience as we have been accustomed to. So it's okay to disconnect for the sake of being healthy and to feeding and to nurturing other people. So staying connected, your connections are life or death. That's right, Christine. Overripe fruit gets heavy and it just gets rotten. Don't want none of that. We don't want rotten, stale relationships. We do not want that to happen. So it is important to identify when we need to be connected, when we need to disconnect, who's unhealthy to stay connected to, and when we need to reconnect. So it is life or death. That's right. That's right, my sister. That's right, Eb. Life or death. Give me some hearts if you're feeling me on this topic of connections, life or death. It is vital. And we don't want to lose our flavor staying connected to certain sources too long. We want to always be vibrant. We want to be able to be nurturing and feed into other people as well. So there is a time, as I stated, that we must be disconnect for our own health, for our own health, for our own life. You hear me? For our own strength. So the fruit, the vine, we have to be then, as we disconnect, we become that fruit, that vine, that connection for someone else. Who would have thunk? Drop off to your disconnect, even if it's a healthy source. We now drop off to become that connector, that healthy connecting source for other people, and so on and so on and so on. It's supposed to stay connected. It's a cycle. You know, we hear, the Lion King, the circle of life. We drop off, we go to something else, people feed onto us. It's a wonderful cycle if we do it in a healthy way. So like I said, much like the apple or the orange, we have to fall off in order to supply nutrients to other people. But get this, although they are disconnected, they still have the source. Remember I said there's a seed. Whenever we're connected to someone that is healthy, that seed is already planted. We never forget that saying, never forget where you came from. So all those things that help to nurture us, that seed that has been planted in us, we need to share that with other people. Sometimes we disconnect and say, I got all I needed from that person or that organization or this system or what have you, or that ministry. And then we go off on our own thinking, hey, it's all us. It's all us. But we have to remember where we are. Yes, Christine, we think we feel obligated to stay. Don't feel obligated to stay. There's a reason and a season for every relationship, everything that we are connected to. So keep that in mind. Great point, Christine. I'm going to have to copy that. I'm going to have to copy that later. Thank you for that, my sister, for sharing that. So although, we are disconnected, we have to remember where we came from, and remember the seed that has been planted with us and share it with others. We have to share our knowledge. We have to share our skills and all of that stuff that the people have put into us. So it doesn't stop once we disconnect. Never forget. Never forget. So the key is that we would have to be connected in the first place in order to be fruitful and to be healthy. So if you're not connected, it's time to start connecting. Start praying about who can you align with that could get you to the next level. Who could you align with to share your knowledge and experiences with? So that's very important. We need to start thinking about that. We cannot survive on our own. It's very, very important that we connect with others. I'm telling you, it's life or death. I would not know half of the things that I know now if I was not connected to certain people or places. And I'll share this story. I have a friend. very, very, very good friend. Oh my gosh. I call her so close to me. She's my sister. Her name is Patrice Myrick. Yes, I'm name dropping this morning. Patrice Myrick. One day I was in a hair salon and I got a phone call from her, and this was well before we became this close. And she was obedient. The Holy Spirit told her to call me. So, she said, the Lord is telling me that we should meet. We should talk about some things or whatever. I said, okay, that's fine or whatever. But let me just tell you, if she had not been obedient, we would not have connected in such a way that we have been friends in ministry. We pray for one another. We support each other in everything that we do. And it has been years. I want to say it's been about 9 years now that we have been connected. If I had not met Patrice, I would not have met my sister Christine, who's given us some nuggets on there, because we were connected to my coach, our life coach, Joyce Gilmer. Patrice was connected to Joyce Gilmer, who is now my life coach. She's helping me start my business. I would not have known Christine. I would have not known so many other women in my life. I would not be in the place where I am today had I not been connected to certain people. So I'm going to pose the challenge to you. Can you trace the people, back the people, places and things that has affected your life? Are you staying connected to those people? I am so thankful. Yes, Christine, thank you. I am absolutely blessed to have be connected with you and so many other people that is on this scope. My sister Mwambi Presley, she was my daughter's preschool teacher. We have been friends for over 20 years, and we sow into each other's lives even now. So divine connections are so important, but we have to be obedient and listen to those connections when we get that tug. My sister Eb, we went to high school together and we reconnected on Facebook, and we have been connecting ever since, encouraging each other through ministry and just supporting one another. But my question to you is, can you trace back the people in your life who have sown into your life? Are you connected? Are you staying connected to some people too long? Ask yourself those questions. Is it time to drop off and begin to nurture and sow seed in other areas? Not forgetting what you've been connected to, but is it time to disconnect to some sources? Are you connected to a good source? Start thinking about that. Are you connected to good sources? Begin to ask yourself these questions. Guess what? Ask yourself this. Are you even connected at all? Are you just on this island by yourself trying to make it? Looking on the internet, searching here and there, trying to find the answers? We have to connect with people. We cannot survive on our own. We are created to be connected to people. We are designed to be social beings. Take an inventory. That's right. Take an inventory. Ask yourself, are you even connected at all? Are you just wandering without any real connection? I challenge you today that if you are not connected to anyone, a healthy organization, a healthy ministry, I challenge you to find someone today. There are people that are on this scope that are connected. You will see who are following me today. Reach out to them on Twitter. Reach out, look them up on social media. Find out what they're about and see if they can meet a need for you. My sister Christine, she is the financial deliverer. If you're in a debt situation, you're trying to improve your credit, you're trying to do some things, reach out to her. Live debt-free. Christine, if you're still on, put your website up and share with the followers about your where they can reach out to you. I'm sharing who I'm connected with so you can be connected to other people. You can reach out to Joyce Gilmer. She will move you forward in your goals. Hey, I'm absolutely a source. You're struggling with leadership, trying to find your way, trying to build your teams, trying to structure your ministries, trying to structure some things, trying to find your purpose. I'm your girl. Start to find connections, divine connections. So those are my questions to you. And those of you who are joining, we are talking about, just joining in, we are talking about connections. We are talking about connections. Life or death. Our connections is a health thing. Life or death. It means everything who we're connected to. So here's some nuggets. Here are some nuggets for you this morning. If you are connected, ask yourself 5 things. It's pretty much the when, what, where, why, and when. So start thinking about this. Who are you connected to? Start evaluating your circle. Who are they? Are they meaningful? Are they sucking the life out of you? Are they meaningful, or are they sucking the life out of you? Hey, Alloyd, if I'm saying that right, thank you for joining this morning. That's your who. Who are you connected to? Evaluate your circle. Evaluate the organizations that you're associated with. Whether it's your churches, your ministry, you want to evaluate that. Who are they? You want to evaluate the what. Evaluate what's happening with your connections. Okay, all right. So, welcome. This is a positive scope. It's all about positive connections on this scope. My name is Marquisa Williams. I am the CEO, founder of Elevate Leadership Enterprises. And we talk about our leadership lifts. Leadership lifts every Monday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, the second point, good morning, is the what. Evaluate what's happening in those connections. Are you growing? Are you dying? Or are you stagnant? Are you just standing still and there's nothing going on as it relates to those connections? Mr. Giles, welcome this morning. So evaluate what's happening. So that's your what. So your where is the next one. Observe where these connections are taking you. Where are they taking you? Are they taking you backwards, or are they taking you forward? Evaluate where. Now, and then you want to ask yourself, well, why? Why am I connected to these people, places, or things? Why? Show me some hearts if you're feeling me this morning. I think this is some good stuff this morning that I'm giving you. Some things that you can take away and share with others, and even to help you. So ask yourself why. Why am I connected to this person? Why am I connected to these people? Why am I connected to this job? Why am I connected? Is it for the right reasons? Think about it. Ask yourself why are you connected in the first place? And then, lastly, when? When is the right time to disconnect? Am I starting to feel overripe? You know, I'm right at my maximum capacity. Is it time for me to drop off and now share what I have learned with other people? Sharing my knowledge, reconnecting, planting seeds in other places. Is it now the when? Evaluate. When is the right time to disconnect? I know for me, I've been feeling some kind of way in certain areas in my life, and I think that there's confirmation even through this scope that it's time for me to disconnect in certain areas to move on to help other people. Not forgetting where I came from, but to be able to help and sow seed in other places. So just as a recap, if you are connected, ask yourself the 5 things. Who are you connected to? Start evaluating your circle. What is happening in your circle? Are you growing? Are you dying? Are you standing still? And where? Observe where these connections are taking you and ask yourself why. Why are you connected in the first place? Are you connected in the right place? Please, Mr. Giles, share with your followers. Absolutely. Share with your followers so that they could see some of this. And if you have people who are not on Periscope, I have a YouTube station If you just type in my name, Marquisa Williams, and you will see all of my previous leadership lifts where that will that could help you along the way. So remember, when, and then lastly, when is the right time to disconnect? So as a summary, we have to stay connected to healthy sources in order to grow and in order to produce. I'm glad that this is good stuff for you. I'm glad that this is a timely message. And listen, sometimes we have to connect and also sow. So even while we're connected, I went to a worship service, and the Lord told me to give sow a seed. And I'm saying to myself, well, Lord, you know, I want somebody to sow into me already. It's enough already. Can someone sow into me? And immediately he said to me, guess what? While you're connected, you are still responsible to sow into others' lives while you're still connected to me. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I said, well, I guess what? I am going to sow while I'm still connected. So just because we're connected, that doesn't mean we just take and take and take and take. We still have to pour out as we are staying connected. So so again, that's what that looks like. So connections are necessary for your survival, my survival, not for fame or fortune, but to live. Live in your purpose, live in your destiny. It is vital. So show me some hearts if you are hearing me about this scope. Life or death? Life or death? Welcome, Steve from Philly. Good morning. Life or death? Our connections are critical to our survival, whether it's in our businesses, whether it's in our ministries, whether it's in our homes, our families, relationships. It is critical. I don't want to be connected to a source that's sucking the life out of me and I'm getting not anywhere. Yes, yes. So good morning, good morning. So I just want to leave you with these nuggets. I gave you the 5 things. If you need to recap this, you can watch it on the replay. You can also find this scope on catch.me/IamMarquisa. You can also follow me as well on Twitter, I am Marquisa. You can also catch all of my leadership lifts on YouTube and share with others who may not necessarily be on Periscope. You can go there to Marquisa Williams and you will find me there and subscribe to my channel there. But I want to leave you with a quote that I found from Oswald Chambers that says this. I thought it was so appropriate as we're talking about connections, life or death. And it says, beware of isolation. Beware of the idea that you have to develop a holy life alone. It is impossible to develop a holy life alone. You will develop into an oddity and a I'm saying this right, peculiarism, being peculiar, into something utterly unlike what God wants you to be. The only way to develop spiritually is to go into society of God's own children, and you will soon find how God alters your set. God does not contradict our social instincts. He alters them. He alters them. So I thought on a spiritual note that this was so important, so it connected to what we were saying about beware of not being connected and not being isolated. Beware of isolation. We cannot do this thing on our own. We need people, we need organizations, we need schools, we need others, we need everybody to move forward. We cannot do this. That's right, Mr. Giles. We cannot do this thing alone. We need other people. I shouted out a few people on the scope this morning. My sister Christine, if you could put your website back up again for how you could connect about finances. If you want to move forward, you can reach out to my life coach, Joyce Gilmer. She will move you forward. You can follow her also on I Move You Forward. So this is not all about just me. getting followers. It's about you connecting to others. If you want to follow me or connect with me on marquisawilliams.com, MARQUISSA Williams.com. You can get a free ebook, my free ebook there, that is simply 5 things anyone leading anything should know. 5 things anyone leading anything should know. It is totally free, and then it will connect you to all of my newsletters. All of my newsletters are on leadership and vital things that will help you to move. Yes, I am Marquisa Williams. I am your leadership guru. I will help you in building your leadership teams, help you to structure your ministries, help you to team build in organizations, helping you to engage your staff, all of those wonderful things. I am your girl. If you are interested in moving forward, I will help you to build your blueprint to your own success. So you can check me out also on my website as well. But remember the nuggets that we carried forward today. Your connections are life and death. For those of you who are just joining, please follow the replay. I think that this scope is very, very important. It's very vital to your success. It's very vital for your life, and it's very vital for those who you are connected to. So again, we've been on this scope for about 30 minutes now, but evaluate your circle. Evaluate what's happening in your connections. Observe where these connections are taking you, and ask yourself, why are you connected to certain people in the first place? And ask yourself, when is the right time to disconnect? Again, thank you this morning for joining in. Show me some heart, show me some love that this has been a blessing to you. Again, share with your followers. You can find me on my website. You can also find me on YouTube to watch any of my leadership scopes that has occurred this morning. Have a wonderful, wonderful, and safe Monday.